Today is Panto Day, and it's Panto every day right the way through till the 14th of January here at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre. Their baddie in Jack of the Beanstalk is Graham Cole. How are we doing, sir?
I'm good, yeah.
And enjoying the
Panto.
in
bad mode, so be careful.
Oh, okay, because you've just come off stage.
I haven't left that yet.
No. So how long does it take you to wind down from being a baddie?
Do you know, here at the Grand, it's been amazing because the cacophony of booze that I go out to is just stunningly beautiful. I absolutely love it. To come down, it's the same as any other production. 2-3 hours afterwards, you're still buzzing.
And we're between shows at the moment, so you're back on stage again for the 7:15 tonight.
Yeah, you're interrupting my yoga time.
So really, that is what happens.
That's what happens. I'll have a bite to eat, take in some pasta, lots of water, and then I'll do about half hour, 3/4 an hour, lay down, do a bit of yoga, maybe get a little 10-minute after the yoga.
See, if I'd been warned on this, I would have actually had plenty of space, and we could have found a yoga studio.
You could have tried it, yeah, because I do the old Buddha thing as well. I really transcendental meditation.
Really?
And stuff. Yeah,
that's
I've been doing it for a long time.
But I suppose in your game, particularly with something like Panto, that is so stressful, and you're running at so many shows throughout the Panto run, you do need to be able to take a bit of a break.
Yeah, it's vital. A lot of my colleagues get really upset because I can take 40 winks just about anywhere at any time. But that's training. That's training your mind, and you need it. You really, really do, because you walk out there sometimes. You know, as Lisa will tell you, I walk out there sometimes. She'll say something. It's like, what show is this? Why is this? Where is this? But it's a wonderful time. The other thing I love about Panto is I look out there and you see 5 generations of a family, and that's what makes it so beautiful.
Yeah, and Panto Day is all about celebrating the art form, and it's a very British thing. Yeah. But there are places around the world that do this. And have you been able to travel abroad, or have all your Pantos been in the UK?
We did a little tryout, and I really hope to go back in Australia. That was because they're all 2/3. I say they're all British, but 2/3 of them have British roots.
Yeah.
So that kind of is there. It could work in other places, but it depends how you present it and what storylines you take. Because at Easter now, we're doing sort of Easter fables. So they would work if it's Beauty and the Beast or Robin Hood and that sort of stuff. So that would kind of work, and then introduce the Vopars very, very quietly in the background so they don't get too scared.
But with, say, Panto Day and the family of Panto, you basically got an adopted family for the 5-6 weeks of any Panto run. And you've worked, I think, you've worked with Ian before, haven't you?
I've worked with Ian. This is my 3rd time working with him, which is fantastic. I've never worked with Jules before. I worked with Gareth before. We did a Robin Hood.
Yeah, and that was not Christmas one, though, was it?
No, that was one of those Easter fables that I talked about. He was Robin Hood, and I was the Sheriff of Nottingham. So we had great sword fight. I choreographed a sword fight, and twice you nearly didn't have a Gareth Gates. He forgot to duck.
Easy enough for these things to go wrong. But the audience would have loved it even more as long as you didn't spill blood.
Yeah. But as long as he won, they liked it. That's the only thing you've got to be, as a baddie, you've got to take that.
Yeah.
You've got to do the walk down knowing you're going to get booed.
But again, it's building up that whole atmosphere of Panto, and that's certainly something which works really, really well. And something, when I came along to press night, that it was just a great atmosphere from all the audience, because they want to enjoy a Panto.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And when you get such a good Panto as you have here, that helps.
It really does. And there are different genres of them. You know, if you get the axe and that sort of thing in there, it's a little bit different. This one is really traditional, and it motors, you know, it really does. Once it starts, it just goes. And my job, really, in that first entrance, my feeling is, and I'm very sorry about this, those listening, watching, but my job is, if 2 or 3 kids are not taken out screaming their entrance, I've done it wrong on my first entrance.
So you're there for, but you say you've got the first entrance, you're on with Lisa at the top of the show, and you're on so much during this one. Yeah,
I have to say that I get back up into the room here sometimes, and I think, no, not this one. And belt all the way back down again, because I've got the running order not in my head quite. That's the trouble when you're on and off like that. And I say more or less the same thing in slightly different order, which doesn't help.
Slightly aggressively as well, which...
I don't know what you mean.
He's proper buddy. He's really good at being a baddie. But you're such a nice guy as well. And we don't want to give any spoilers away, but obviously things progress through the show for good old Fleshcreep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
it's misunderstood.
Well, this is it. But you managed to get some great gags about the bill in there too. Sure. Obviously, you spent so long doing that. And how does it compare doing something at Panto to doing the bill? Because the workload must be fairly similar.
There is no comparison, because this is just out and out fun. Whereas with the bill, you know, it's great scripts, but I spent 98% of my time on the streets of London which I loved.
Yeah.
But you're coping with traffic and people going hello tone halfway through a take and all that sort of thing. And of course the genres are very different. I'm very lucky that I've done just about everything within the stage and also film and TV, so I've been very, very lucky. But of course they're different, and you put different heads on for different things. A lot of people, you know, John Chalice came to see us yesterday, you know, and he said, what a great Fleshcreep, and he was a Fleshcreep himself, you know, but I do play him as an actor would play Fleshcreep.
Yeah.
And I've known some mates in the bill that have wanted to do Panto, and they've come to me after and said, I can't do the baddie, I hate people booing me. I said, well, there's no point in being a baddie then. Go and play another role. You know, that's what it's. If they're not booing you on the walk down, you seriously misjudged.
Yeah, you can tell he loves it. You can tell he loves it. If you haven't been along yet, grandtheatre.co.uk, get your tickets 01902 429212 on the box office. Come and see this guy as well as the rest of the cast. But it's worth coming to see for you and your part. And you get a song in this as well.
Well, a bit of a song. Yeah, it's not the. I really usually. Because Tony Stamp's quite a nice character, people. I mean, he hit a lot of people, I have to say.
But they were all the baddies in that.
People seem to forget.
Yeah.
But
he wore a lot less green eyeliner than you.
If you want to do the paperwork, that's basically why he hit him. It's far easier. But the thing that is, people then think he's going to be nice, and then when you come out and you aren't, that's the fun of doing the job that I do, playing those different characters. And normally the second half opener would be a big number for me, and I would normally be in black leather with the girl dancers. So I have missed out on this one.
Yeah. so have the audience, clearly. But
I do have to say at the end, when Ian walks forward and says, you know, what should we do with him? I don't want to give too much away, you know. The kids normally say, kill him. But bless them, there was a little row of ladies yesterday who said, we'll have him.
Adopt a Fleshcreep. Yeah, that sounds good.
That was lovely.
And as far as dressing room goes as well, because it's a big part of your Panto, you're in dressing room number 4, so that's suitably important. We like that. It's a nice low number. And you started to make it your own. You've got your makeup kit out there.
Yep.
We've got some of your outfits hanging up just by the window as well. But do you tend to personalise it more as the run goes on?
If you want, I mean, I don't know how close you can get. But the box, obviously, because I played varied all through the year, so some of it's just plays. But I mean, obviously, this is one of the biggest makeup jobs. But we all have to do our own makeups, and so there's hair, there's all sorts of stuff in there for beards and stuff. But in this little trinket box,
can we move this forward?
If I move it, they're all full out. You see, but I'll try and bring it forward. But in here, this is all stuff that's been given to me from various pantos that I've done by various artists. And who would you want a magic piece of string from?
I'm thinking of magicians. Well, Paul Daniels would be a good one.
Tommy Cooper.
Tommy Cooper, even better.
I did Summer Season with Tommy Cooper, and that has now been with me for 40 years.
And
on tour, and whether I'm in plays or whatever, all this always comes out with me. There's stuff from my family as well, and it just tours with. That's one of Laura's dolls that she had in her doll's house. And my daughter.
Yeah, and now it's part of your travelling kit.
It is, yeah, and the superstition of our job is very important to us, and I carry stuff because I do lots with the services, so I have all sorts of little trinkets,
patches and things,
that the services are giving me, and
your own Spitfire.
My own Spitfire.
That's the way it should be.
It was given to me by the RAF guys, and it's very, very, and that stuff is just lovely, and obviously lots of police memorabilia that I don't carry around too much, but I have lots of that.
I can imagine. Beautiful. The handcuff key being the important one.
Yeah.
I'm sure the whole cast had one of those on the bill, but there we go. But I mean, it's great to see you as part of the whole Panto.
It's great to be here. And it's beautiful theatre.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is the thing about it is you forget there's like nearly 1,800 people out there, and it's so intimate. You can see everybody, you know, and you feel. I don't know why people sit in the box, to be honest, because we just ignore them now. Because I would have been picked on. Lines that come in your head. And I do have to say, I don't know why, but they do seem rather miserable in the box.
No, I don't know why. They're lovely people. I know. Well, I know the guys who are in our press line.
Throw custard pies and stuff at anyone that sits in the boxes because they see us preparing, don't they? You can sort of see the wings. And there's not a lot we can do about that, you know. So that they sort of see us semi-naked and things. But maybe that's why. So now we know why they want to put it in the box, and obviously wear your best pants for them. That's what counts. Great having a chat with you. Enjoy the rest of Panto Day. Break a leg for the next performance. Thanks for coming up.
And it's be good to see you once again. grandtheatre.co.uk. Get your tickets for Jack and the Beanstalk, or call the box office on 01902 429212. It really is a giant of a Panto and well worth a look down here at the Grand Theatre.
Thank you very much.